We're coming through, shine your light, let your voices be heard. We're spreading love with every single word, from the stage to the screen. We're making our mark, me and Venus, together we embark.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Sarah. How are you? Thank you very much
Good.
for joining the live.
Grateful to be here.
First, I want to ask you about your interest into music. How did it start with you?
I'm sorry?
I want to ask you about your interest into music. How did it start with you, your interest into music?
Yeah, I had a lot of interest growing up. I was a cheerleader. I did a lot of different things, but I started playing piano in the 3rd grade.
Yes.
And before I even started lessons, I had an ear for music. So I would, even at a young age, go up to the piano and be able to make up melodies, even though I never played. And so my mom got me into lessons, and there's just always something in my heart, no matter what else I did, that music is what you're supposed to do.
Yes. 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 And you grew up in North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Tell me a little bit how do you remember your first performance in front of a live audience?
Yeah, so my first performance was in church. I had a solo at the church Christmas play. I forget, it was 6 or 7 years old. Because I used to sing around the house, so my mom knew I could sing, so she put me in church. And yeah, my first live performance was singing "Mary Did You Know" at 7 years old in the church Christmas production. And I had a little solo.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I see that you started like a band and you moved to Nashville, or you performed in Nashville, right?
Yeah, so in high school, I had a rock band. You know, I was interested in all this other stuff, but then they said, join our rock band. And I said, well, that's what I'm doing.
Yes.
And then I went and tried to do other things. You know, my parents, I grew up very academically, and my dad's a scientist, so my grades, I always had really good grades, and I ended up going to UNC Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
And I played music. I was unhappy there. I was very unhappy. I tried to be a doctor. I was unhappy. And then one day was like, I don't want to be unhappy anymore. And I went and I played at an open mic in North Carolina. And I was happy. And so as soon as I graduated, I was like, I'm not doing anything. Thanks, parents, for my raising, but I'm going to do Nashville now, and music's going to be my life from now on and forevermore. Yeah.
And I've seen that you performed in several places, including the Orchid Lounge. This is correct?
Yes,
So tell me, how this kind of performance do you think way voice, your performance, your career, these consecutive performance at these lounges?
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry, it got
Yes, yes.
disconnected.
No, no. I was saying about your performance during the past year, around 6 years in Tootsie's Orchid Lounge and similar parts in front of live audience. Do you think this kind of performance shaped your career, your voice, your performance along the year?
Oh, absolutely. There's something about doing music full time for your living and going into a dirty honky tonk at 9 a.m. in the morning and playing country music, Patsy Cline and Willie Nelson, and doing that 4 days a week. And then, eventually playing in the afternoon with a band after playing acoustic in the morning. And this is your full time living. And you have to learn the country music and you have to be in front of people, and they may or may not like you because they're just going in, drinking beer, going to the next place. And it really, I felt like I've really lived the country lifestyle of an entertainer for the past 6 years. I mean, you can't play country music every day and be in front of an audience and just have that real experience and not, I feel like I've really lived the country. I mean, I haven't gone on tour yet, but I've definitely been an entertainer, and country
And
singer.
great. Right now, I about your latest song, Dreamcatcher. Hmm? And I want to tell take this song as an example of how can a singer like yourself promote a new single, in the current musical environment. I mean, of course, that the music industry, like the movie industry, was quite changed and repolished, with the online media and social media. And before, a lot of singers and bands like yourself and your own band used to tour a lot, used to sell a lot, albums, CDs, I don't know what, I mean, the physical media right now, I think, vanished from the music industry. So tell me about the Dreamcatcher.
I'm sorry that it's still going in and out, but you're asking about how I promote my songs with the new modern industry. Hello? Well, I would say to that, I have been learning a lot about social media in the past few years, and I've learned a lot. I built a platform for somebody else, um, to a very successful degree. And I've also built my own platform. I'm now at 6,700 people on TikTok, and I have 13,000 on Instagram. And as I'm promoting these new records, even with the followers, I'm learning I have to do even more. And in terms of being social,
Yes,
you know,
Sarah.
are you
Mhm.
there?
Yes, yes, it was cut. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
So
yes. I
you were
was
asking. Go ahead.
yes, I was asking you about Dreamcatcher as a song, your new song. As an example of how can you promote a single right now in the current musical environment, because the industry has changed a lot right now.
Yeah, I mean, social media is the thing, and I really am grateful that we have it, so it gives us little guys a chance against these big major record labels. And I just think that I've promoted in the past through social media. You can put your song out before it's released and promote it. I think promotion is a great way if you have the means or um the where the money to put it back in. I really think if someone were to really want to push their song, to go ahead and do that as much as they can. I mean, have some money, something to sell, maybe merch would be a great thing too if you're going to do that. So there's some return. Also, I would say to message, this next release, I'm going to, because people, they are just passively watching on social media. They're passively watching. But what you can do to help is connect with people and message them, direct message them, message people you think who have supported you, check in with people. It is a social media game. And I mean, you can't do it with everybody, but as your algorithms, as you're growing and as you're the little guy, I definitely think that, direct messaging is a great way to promote your music. Talking about it. You have to be your own manager, you have to be your own PR, you have to, everywhere you go, be like, hey, check out my music. I'm a music artist. I would really appreciate you listening. And on social media, when you're posting, post things that go viral. People, it's just what you see is what you get where you are. Post you in a good place, post you singing in a pretty area. Talk about yourself and what you're going through. The best way to get people interested is for them to get to know you. So you have to tell your story. It's a lot about digital storytelling.
And regarding Dreamcatcher as a music, as a song in lyrics, yeah, there is a story behind this song. What can you tell us about it?
Oh, Dreamcatcher. Oh, there is a good story with
Yes.
that song. So, I'm actually at so in Nashville, you have your writing team and you have people you work with. And one of my main people that I work with is Jan Buckingham, and she's a hit songwriter, and I wrote Dreamcatcher with her. So I've been sitting over here the past 7 years, coming over to the Duck House, which is where we're interviewing right now. It's her little duck house. And we meet with different people and write. We're writing with someone today, but every Christmas, Jan gave me a dream catcher for Christmas. And it happened a few years. And, as I've had my heartbreak, I was like, and I haven't met the right person, which is fine. But, I always feel that, I would see the dream catcher and think, man, what if the dream catcher would turn into a man at night, and that was my and save me. I just had this sort of story in my head every time she gave me the dream catcher, and I was like, man, I wish I would, in a dream. I just started thinking of this little story of the dream catcher turning into a handsome man at night, and saving me from some disaster, like a damsel in distress. And it's my dream catcher, like my future person, and so I told Jan, um which her writer's here right now, so we might have to go in a second. But I told her that I wanted to write that song. I was like, here's the concept. Dreamcatcher turns into a handsome man at night and saves me. And we put it into a song, and she wrote it down. Um and yeah, that's the story.
Yes, and I've seen that you collaborated with many famous music producers. I can see John Buckingham and John Willis, right?
Yeah, John Willis is a beast of a producer and guitarist. He played on, well, you'll go into his house and there'll be Jewel on the wall, to Alabama, to Blake Shelton, to Shania Twain, to Taylor Swift to I mean, he's played as a guitar player on all of these records. And so when you
Mhm.
hear him, that's him, that's his signature lick. So I love my music because it gets to have the same soulful, solos and that the big people do, I mean, I believe it's, I mean, it's spiritual, it's um music, is spiritual. I mean, there's a lot of business to it, but he's tapping into something, when he's playing, and that energy is on all these records, and now it's on my records. So I think it's really cool.
I want to ask you as well, because we are approaching the holiday season with Thanksgiving, Christmas, and I've seen that you are preparing a song for Christmas as well.
Yeah, so I wrote this song with Thornton Klein, who's my dear friend, and he has had film cuts and all sorts of success, and Jan again. And this song is called Tinsel Town Christmas, which is both, decorating a little small town, but Tinsel Town is also another name for LA. And I love that because, I've always been a pop diva in the middle of Nashville, and I love Nashville. I'm going to stay here for my whole life, but, I do have that pop edge. So I love, a nod to Los Angeles and the City of Lights. And yeah. So I'm really excited for this new song. It's got that, it's very magical, and we had Tyler Ross mix it. So the sounds are just, you listen and you just feel like you're in some Christmas wonderland.
And I've seen beside yourself as a singer, you have other parallel activities related as well to music, like Southern Glitter Entertainment and musicians of Nashville.
Yeah, so I found out one of my main jobs at Tootsie's, besides singing, was taking videos of the new artists coming in. I hosted the open mic every Saturday, which was the hiring process. I was there every Monday for the hiring process. And I started filming people, and that's another way of, numbers go up on the internet for social media, talent. It's not rocket science. Sometimes it's just talent, good talent. And and thank God for John Taylor, who, put me in that job, the guy who runs it. And so, I've realized that's my gift. One of my gifts besides singing and songwriting is videography and interviewing people. And I realized that, as much as fun as it is to just go and do things on my own, there's so many stories that I want to share for other people. And so I branched out and made my own brand, that I would have and own and be, because all my creative powers are I get to use. And so I made Southern Glitter Entertainment, and Musicians of Nashville was actually created before I worked for Tootsie's. When I first got to Nashville, knew social media had some sort of magic to it and would be part of the new music industry. And I love Nashville. So as soon as I got to Nashville, I made the account Musicians of Nashville even before Tootsie's, and was interviewing people. I drove down to New Orleans. I interviewed a girl on the street in New Orleans. I got videos of people in New Orleans, even though it wasn't Nashville. It was like a Musicians of Nashville road trip to New Orleans. So if you go on my Instagram, you'll be able to see that for Musicians of Nashville too. But I just, once again, just like the music, where I was young and something in me was just like, do music, this video thing has just become a part of who I am too. And editing videos and taking videos, because it's amazing. There's so many people in this town who are beyond, and you never know who you're gonna meet and their stories. I played with Paul Sidoti, who plays for Taylor Swift, and Jake Clayton, who plays for Tanya Tucker. And these people have stories, and I think that stories definitely heal and transform people. So it's just fallen into my life, and I'm so grateful for my 2 pages. Please follow them. Musicians of Nashville. It's on TikTok and um, Instagram, and Southern Glitter Entertainment on Instagram, and then it's just Southern Glitter on TikTok.
Great. Since we are approaching as well the new year, tell me, do you have certain dreams or projects you would like to realize in the next period?
Yeah, I definitely have been diving into my own producing. I produced a song that's on SoundCloud right now called Judas Kiss. And so along with recording still with John Willis and my co-writers, I'm gonna try to do my own record and produce my own record, just because I'd never done that before, and I feel like it'd be really interesting to just go, into my creative heart and see what happens. So yeah, producing my own record, growing Southern Glitter and Musicians of Nashville, obviously, and trying to make that more of not just a platform for free, but I might start to make a business out of my videography, and I'm trying to think of what other goals. Just keep writing, maybe try to play at CMA Fest or something, play at some bigger venues, just get continue to grow. It's just a
Yes,
growing year, I think.
keep creating.
Yeah.
Yes. Sarah, I want to thank you very much for the live. Appreciate your time. And I wish you all the best for Dreamcatcher and your Christmas song as well.
Thank you.
And I hope we can receive you again when you have a new single, released. We'll be very happy to talk about it as well.
Well, I really appreciate that. I'll reach out. Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of the day and season's greetings from here in Ecuador, Latin America. And
Yes.
I look forward to hear some great news about your work.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays as well. Take care. Bye bye.